Welcome back to the channel. Gotta feel this, man. This was a great night of fights, man. The UFC, man. I loved it tonight, man. Me personally, I'm a prelims type of guy because they're the future talent. So I take a liking to the prelims. So that's where we're gonna start there. One of the fights I want to start with is Weston Wilson versus Gene Silva. Weston Wilson being 16-9, and Gene Silva being 12-2 in the featherweight division. Gene Silva was very confident in that fight. Very confident. As far as Weston Wilson, I feel like he gave up. He didn't really put up much of an effort. He seemed like a guy who didn't want to be there. Once he felt this power, he did not want to be there at all. He was looking for a way out. Gene Silva wasn't trying to give him that way out. It's like he was putting enough on him, but he just was like, no, you're going to take some punishment today. And the ref saved him. That's for sure. And one thing that Silva said, he said, listen, man, no one can stand with me. And the way his fighting style looked tonight, I believe him. I believe him. It's going to be hell and hot water to stand up and trade with that guy. The next fight we have after that was Farid Basharat. I hope I'm not getting his name messed up. 11-0 versus Taylor Lepulis, 19-3 in the bantamweight division. Man, Farid stayed very active. Constant pressure. He was giving that man different looks the whole fight. And I was very impressed with that. This is the mixed martial art game, and he mixed it up. Gave him all different types of looks. He gave me the feeling of somebody who wanted to win. And as far as Taylor, he was keeping calm, tried to keep his composure in the fight. He had great takedown defense, but at certain points I felt as though he just got too relaxed. It's like, okay, you want to keep calm and keep your composure, but at a certain point, you have to put your foot on the pedal, and he never did that throughout the fight. And I just felt like he just couldn't get off. I mean, the only thing he could really do was land a jab, and that's not going to win any fight, especially with a guy giving you all these different looks, kicks, leg kicks, high kicks, changing levels. So I want hats off to Farid. Great fight. I like what he did tonight. Used great technique. I can't wait to see more of Farid. Next fight up, we have Marcus McGee, 9-1 with 100% finish rate versus Bolanos. McGee, man. At the end of the fight, he said, listen, I'm a striker. I don't think nobody wants to strike with me. Bolanos was a striker too, but McGee just had more oomph, more thump, big power. I mean, it seemed like everything he was throwing was with bad intentions. He was looking to hurt this man the whole night. Very accurate. It seemed like everything he threw landed. He could not miss. When he knocked them down, I felt he let up on the gas pedal. The fight game is you beat a guy till the ref get off you. But also, I can understand, these guys are professionals. They know when a guy's done. Just like when Khalil stood over the guy with his hand raised, like, I could really kill him right now if you want, but I think you should stop it. And that's what I got out of him in that fight. He's just like, okay, I'm going to beat him up some more. And the ref eventually noticed that this guy didn't have a shot and stopped it. So it was a great stoppage. Took a little longer than it had to, but I kind of commend the ref also for letting that guy get a chance to least try. But once he curled up after that big right hand when he got knocked down and McGee let him up and he put more on him after that spinning back kick, it was just style points after that, and it was just like over. He was dazed. It was a good stoppage. That's one thing I can definitely say. Hats off to McGee. With 100% finish rate, man, who wouldn't want to see that again, you know? He's going out there to win. I love it when guys don't leave it in the judge's hands. Simple as that. Next fight we have is Selmsberger versus Parson in the welterweight division. Parsons, man, because he didn't dominate him by any means, you know, but he was very assertive and consistent. Yeah, Parsons, he was very assertive and consistent. He had good takedowns. In the beginning, you know, Selmsberger was able to get back up in that first round. Parsons, great leg kicks. And once he started to do those level changes and take him down, that's when it started turning into domination. You know, he won the first 2 rounds, not by like a large margin, but you could tell he won those first 2 rounds. But what I like about Selmsberger, opposite of what Weston Wilson did, he was a gamed opponent. He didn't come in there to lose. He gave a great effort. You know, I commend him. He could have tapped in that 3rd round when he was in a Kimura. It was deep. It was looking bad. I thought he was going to break his arm. But that goes to show you a tough guy who's not going to give up. You know, and Parsons came in that 3rd round, and, you know, I kind of don't like it sometimes, but it's like, it's a sport. You got to think sometimes I got 2 rounds in the bag. Let me just, you know, close this last round out. You know, it don't get you no extra money in your pocket, but it gets you the W. You know, it's no performance of the night bonus or nothing like that. But he took him down, controlled him pretty much the whole 3rd round, went for a sub, wasn't able to get it because he had a tough guy, you know, who wasn't going for it. And great fight, man. If out of the prelims that I saw, I feel like McGee should get like a performance of the night bonus, but that fight there should be a fight of the night mention, you know, type of thing. Give them guys some type of bonus because, you know, it was a good fight, all around fight. The decision went to Parsons, and I think those guys deserve it. It was a good fight, you know. A guy who wasn't coming in there to lay down, and a guy who just stayed more consistent and assertive the whole fight. Now we move on to the main card. And we got the OG, man, Andre Arlovski versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Andre Arlovski, 34-22. Veteran, man. Big numbers. Former UFC heavyweight champ. And Waldo, 10-1 in the heavyweight division to kick off the main event. Terrible fight, man. Probably the worst fight of the night. I don't know if it was because they were heavyweights, but they just wasn't active. You know, Arlovski's an older guy. I feel like Waldo should have took it to him a little bit more. You know, he's doing all this in the 3rd round, all this, you know, and he won. But it was like, it was one of those things where it was like, you hit him more than he hit you, but it wasn't. It was terrible, man. It was hard. It was hard to watch. It was very boring. Not much action at all. But what I can say is Waldo was more active. You know, he kept him on his back foot. Arlovski is a guy who needs to come forward. And he did try to take his head off. I can say that. You know, he did throw the bigger blows, the more blows that would have, if they would have connected, he would have probably hurt Arlovski. But, you know, Pitbull, he's a tough guy. So, I mean, it was going to take a lot more than what Waldo did, but he was the more active of the two. That's pretty much all I can say for him. He got the W. Good job to him. Hopefully in the future we can see more work out of him, more talent from him, see what more he has in his bag, but we didn't see much tonight. Moving on. Phil Hawes, 12-5 versus Bruno Ferreira, 10-1 in the middleweight division. Did you see the fight? I mean, crisp, clean knockout. Put his lights out. I loved it. And that's what you do. That's what it's said to do. You put a guy down, you beat him till the ref stops you. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that sometimes, because it's like, all right, he's out. You know he's out. But that's his job. Beat a guy that's what the ref is there to stop you for. But I mean, it wasn't really much I could say about that fight. Just a guy knocking another man out. Simple as that. Made it look easy. Moving on. We have Ricky Simon, 20-4, versus Mario Batista, 13-2, in the bantamweight division. It was great back and forth action. A little bit of this, a little bit of that from both guys. And who doesn't like a little bit of action from both guys? You know what I'm saying? Where it was a tough call. Both guys fought their heart out. Can't ask for more than that. Another probably fight of the night contender for the main card at least up to that point. Of course, the fight before that, knockout of the night, vicious. But it's not much I can say because styles make fights and their styles collided perfectly to give us a great fight for their fight. So I have no complaints between either one of those guys. They both came in and did their best. Somebody's got to win. I think it could have been a draw, but that's just me. Because both guys, like I said, was back and forth action. It was hard to pick a winner, in my opinion. Next fight we have is the savvy vet, Jim Miller versus Gabriel Benitez. Jim Miller, great pressure, good pressure, smothering him the whole fight. Well, the whole first round, let me say that. His defense was my favorite part of what Jim Miller was doing. He just was negating everything Gabriel threw at him. It was like he could not connect with anything tonight. It was actually great to see because you don't normally see a guy so savvy in the defensive end. The way he just, his parries, and it wasn't so much head movement. It was a lot of blocks mostly. And I like that about Jim Miller. But I feel like that comes from experience for him to be able to do that. Gabriel just couldn't land at all. But in the second round, things started to turn in his favor until Jim Miller mixed it up. He switched those levels, took him down with ease. And I felt like once that happened, it started to take away Gabriel's will. It started to disencourage him, and him not being able to land also really took away his will, because it's like when you in there with a guy for 15 minutes and you can barely touch him, it's like, will I ever hit him? If I haven't seen the stats, but I'm pretty sure his connection percentage is very low. Jim Miller had good groundwork, and Gabriel was very unaware of the takedowns. It's either that because he took him down twice in the same manner, quick, easy, fast. There was no resistance at all to those takedowns. First time I could see that, Gabriel was so focused on trying to hit him, and Jim Miller, with his combinations, was set a lot of what he was doing up. He wasn't just throwing, every once in a while he'll throw one punch here, one kick there, but it was a lot of combinations. Left, right kick, left, right kick. He stayed on him with constant pressure, and Gabriel just, with also negating a lot of what he was doing, Gabriel never really stood a chance in that fight, especially after the second takedown, and we know what happened after that. Rear naked choke. Hats off to Jim Miller. Most wins in UFC history. A future Hall of Famer. Another great win. A gatekeeper. Still to this day it's sad that he'll never get that chance at a championship, but he's a great guy to have these guys try to contend and see where they're at. Jim Miller, keep doing what you're doing. Your future Hall of Famer, most wins in UFC history. Hats off to you. Now, we get to the main event. Ankalaev, 18-1 versus Johnny Walker, 21-7. Johnny, I like Johnny a lot because he's unorthodox. You never know what you're gonna get from him. Has great power, but Ankalaev, I think that last fight really put a burn in his soul to say, you know what, you guys effed me out my last win, and I'm gonna show you what the result would have been the first time. And he laid him out. The first round was a lure. I get a first round to Ankalaev, but it's because of the ring control. It wasn't so much of him, beating on Walker. It was a little bit of a back and forth action. But that second round, and Ankalaev said that before the fight, he does not want to leave it in the judge's hand, and he did that. One big powerful blow. He could have broke Johnny Walker's nose, and followed up with like 1 or 2 ground and pounds, and the ref stopped it immediately. Johnny Walker gave no complaints about it because he was hurt. I mean, when he went down, he immediately grabbed his face, not in like a protect myself, like, what was that? Like, is my face still connected to my face, to my neck? Is my nose still on my face type of grab? Like, he punched him so hard, knocked him straight down, and great finish by Ankalaev. He needed that victory because right now the light heavyweight division is in a little bit of a limbo. I feel like he should be next in line for the title. I don't think he should have fought Johnny Walker with being ranked number 2, and a lot of people feel like he won that fight against Jan. Jan just lost. Yuri just lost to Alex Pereira. I don't think Ankalaev should have fought Jamal Hill, but beating Johnny Walker, I still feel like he should be getting that title shot next. I really believe that. He demonstrated why he's ranked number 2 in the world and why he should be in the big fight next. No more messing around, man. Like, we need a stable somebody to hold down the light heavyweight division. It's been in limbo because of injuries and all kinds of stuff. And I feel like Ankalaev could be that guy. Alex Pereira, maybe. But he doesn't have a good enough all-around game. I feel like light heavyweights are still guys that can move around. Not saying that Ankalaev has the biggest all-around game, but I just would like to see some more stability in the lightweight division. If Alex Pereira could do it, more power to him. We haven't seen a dominant champion in the light heavyweight division in a long time, and I just would like to see some more stability. I mean, let me know what you guys think, man. That's my reviews for UFC Vegas 84. Comment below, like, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. Shit, you gotta feel this. Hey, man, I'm out.